Breaking crime news across the globe. Overall global crime perceptions. According to global surveys, about 1 in 3 people worldwide say crime and violence in their neighborhood has risen in the past year. Vehicle theft and illegal drug use are among the most frequently reported crimes locally. Violent crime trends. Declines in some regions. In the United States, violent crime and murder rates have declined significantly over recent years, with some reports showing historic drops, e.g., an estimated 20% decrease in homicides in 2025 compared to 2024, and broader violent crime falling in multiple cities. New York Post. Local variations. Major U.S. cities still report localized increases in violent crime even as broader national trends show declines, meaning some urban centers struggle more than others. New York Post. Other regions. In parts of Africa and Latin America, violent crimes like armed robbery and homicide remain high in many cities due to inequality, unemployment, and organized crime pressures, e.g., high homicide rates in Brazilian cities. Property and theft crimes. Many countries continue to experience rising theft and property crime. Retail theft and shoplifting have surged in some parts of Australia and Scotland, with double-digit increases in reported shoplifts and repeat offender activity. Recorded crime reports from statistical agencies show increases in theft and related offenses by up to 30% over multi-year comparisons. Central Statistics Office. Cybercrime and financial crime, global growth. One of the fastest-growing crime trends worldwide. Cybercrime damage costs are projected to reach $10.5 trillion annually by the end of 2025, making it one of the largest criminal industries globally. Cybercrime includes identity theft and fraud, major components of reported attacks, ransomware, phishing, and business email compromise. Large illicit darknet markets operating via encrypted platforms and social apps. International enforcement actions. Intensive operations like Interpol's Operation Sentinel led to hundreds of arrests across Africa and disrupted major ransomware and digital extortion networks. Organized crime evolution. Global organized crime has expanded and adapted technologically, with transnational networks increasingly using digital tools and internet platforms to traffic people, launder money, and run large scam operations targeting individuals worldwide. Human trafficking. Trafficking remains a serious global crime issue. Millions of people, including children, are victims of forced labor and sex trafficking. Female victims in forced sexual servitude generate a disproportionate share of criminal profits. Political violence and terrorism. Terrorist activities and politically motivated violence remain a security challenge in some regions, with documented increases in arrests and incidents in 2024 to 2025 in parts of Europe and the West. Recent regional crime patterns, examples, Europe. Several EU countries report increased arrests for terrorism-related offenses and sustained attention on violent extremism. Africa and Latin America. Violent crimes like gang violence and armed robbery remain major concerns. Cybercrime enforcement actions have become more prominent. Asia has seen substantial increases in cybercrime activity due to widespread internet use. North America. Overall violent crime has decreased in many parts of the U.S., while certain urban areas buck that trend locally. Key global crime trend themes. Increasing or rising. Cybercrime and financial fraud. Property theft and shoplifting in many regions. Technologically enabled organized crime. Human trafficking networks. Decreasing or improving in some regions. Homicide and violent crime rates in certain countries. Some traditional crime categories in developed economies. Still persistent or variable. Local violent crime spikes in urban centers. Terrorism and political violence. Illicit trafficking and organized criminal networks. Crime trends are uneven globally. Some high-income countries show declining violent crime but rising cybercrime. In many developing regions, violent and organized crime and technological criminal operations remain serious challenges. The global picture shows a shift in criminal activity from traditional street crimes toward sophisticated digital and transnational crimes requiring coordinated international responses. Across the crime. The global crime landscape is rapidly evolving. While some regions, particularly parts of the developed world, are witnessing encouraging declines in traditional violent crime and homicide rates, this progress is offset by the sharp rise of more complex and less visible threats. Cybercrime, financial fraud, human trafficking, and technologically enabled organized crime networks are expanding at an unprecedented pace, crossing borders and exploiting digital platforms with alarming efficiency. Crime today is no longer confined to the streets. It operates in cyberspace, within financial systems, and across international supply chains, making detection and enforcement increasingly challenging. At the same time, political violence, terrorism, and localized crime spikes continue to pose serious security risks in various regions, highlighting the uneven nature of global crime trends. At Across the Crime, our mission is to inform, educate, and raise awareness by presenting accurate, data-driven insights into these shifting patterns. Understanding how crime is changing is the first step toward effective prevention, policy response, and community resilience. As criminal activity becomes more sophisticated and transnational, coordinated global action, informed public discourse, and continuous vigilance remain essential. Pushpin awareness is protection. Information is power. Across the Crime.